If you are new to crypto futures trading, have under $500, and still keep losing money, this video may save you months of pain. In the next few minutes, I will explain why many beginners lose faster on Phemex, why BingX often feels easier to survive on, and how choosing the wrong exchange for your stage can quietly drain your account even when your trade direction is right. This is not another generic exchange review. I'm not here to say which platform is the best. I am here to answer a more important question: which exchange fits your current level, your capital size, and your psychological pressure as a trader. By the end of this video, you will clearly know whether BingX or Phemex makes more sense for you right now, and you will also get access to fee rebates that can directly reduce your losses. Here is the short answer. If you are a beginner, trading with small capital and still learning risk control, BingX is usually the safer environment. If you already have experience, discipline, and a clear strategy, Phemex can make more sense. Now let me explain why this difference matters more than most people realize. Most new traders think they lose because their strategy is bad. In reality, many accounts die because of fees, funding rates, and psychological pressure. When your balance is small, every tiny cost becomes huge. A few bad funding payments, a slightly confusing interface, or one emotional mistake can erase weeks of progress. This is where the choice between BingX and Phemex starts to matter. Let us talk about fees first, because this is where beginners quietly bleed. If you trade with $50, $100, or $200, even a small trading fee can feel like a punch to the stomach. On paper, fee differences look tiny. In real life, after dozens of trades, they add up fast. This is why rebate programs are not just a bonus, they are survival tools. On BingX, using referral code ZO or VTA9L gives you up to 40% fee rebate on both futures and spot trading. That means every trade costs you less, and less cost means more room to learn without panicking. On Phemex, referral code IE78V7 gives you up to 30% fee rebate, which is still useful, but the platform assumes you already understand how to manage frequent trades and exposure. For a beginner, that extra 10% difference can decide whether you last long enough to improve. Now let us talk about funding rates, something most new traders underestimate. Funding is not dramatic like liquidation, but it slowly eats your balance while you are waiting for price to move. Beginners often hold positions longer because they are unsure, emotional, or afraid to close at a loss. In that situation, funding becomes a real enemy. When your capital is small, even moderate funding payments can feel heavy. This is why many beginners feel like they are right about the market, but still losing money. They are paying to stay in the trade. On more advanced platforms like Phemex, funding structure and market behavior can punish hesitation. BingX tends to feel more forgiving for newer traders who are still learning timing and position management. Another reason beginners struggle is interface complexity. When you are under stress, simplicity matters more than features. BingX is designed to feel straightforward, especially for people who are new to futures trading. Actions are clearer, and the learning curve feels less aggressive. Phemex, on the other hand, feels more professional. That is not a bad thing, but it assumes you already know what you are doing. For a beginner, more options do not mean more power. They often mean more hesitation, more mistakes, and more emotional trades. One of the biggest advantages for beginners on BingX is the ability to learn by observing experienced traders through copy trading. This does not mean you blindly follow others forever. It means you can see how trades are structured, how risk is managed, and how professionals behave during drawdowns. For many beginners, this is the difference between random gambling and structured learning. Phemex is not built around this kind of guided learning. It expects you to bring your own system. Up to this point, you can already see a pattern. This is not about which exchange is better in general. It is about which exchange matches your current stage as a trader. Now let us be honest, no exchange is perfect, and this is where many review videos lie by omission. On BingX, the biggest risk for beginners is becoming too comfortable. Copy trading can help you learn, but if you never move beyond it, you may delay building your own decision-making skills. You must treat it as a learning phase, not a permanent shortcut. On Phemex, the hidden disadvantage is pressure. The platform feels fast, professional, and unforgiving. If you hesitate, overthink, or revenge trade, Phemex will expose those weaknesses very quickly. This is why many beginners feel overwhelmed and blame themselves without realizing the environment amplified their mistakes. Before choosing any exchange, ask yourself 3 honest questions. Can I control my emotions after 2 losing trades in a row? Do I understand position sizing and liquidation clearly? Can I accept small losses without chasing the market? If your answer is no to even one of these, you are still in the survival and learning phase. In that phase, your priority is not maximizing profit. Your priority is staying in the game long enough to gain experience. That is where BingX makes more sense for most people. Phemex starts to make sense when you already have a tested strategy, you know exactly why you enter and exit trades, and you are no longer emotionally attached to each position. At that point, advanced tools, faster execution, and a more professional environment become advantages instead of obstacles. The mistake many people make is trying to trade like a professional before they think like one. Here is the rule I personally recommend. If your capital is under $500 and you are still learning futures, start with BingX. Focus on reducing fees, observing experienced traders, and protecting your capital. When your discipline improves and your results become consistent, then consider transitioning to Phemex. Do not rush this process. Switching too early often resets your progress instead of accelerating it. Many traders ignore referral codes because they think the difference is small. That is a mistake. Fee rebates directly reduce friction. Less friction means less emotional stress. Less stress means better decisions. On BingX, using referral code ZO or VTA9L gives you up to 40% rebate on futures and spot trading. On Phemex, using referral code i.e. 78V7 gives you up to 30% rebate. These are not marketing gimmicks. Over time, they can be the difference between slow progress and constant frustration. If you're serious about trading and want to give yourself the best chance to survive and improve, use the links in the video description. Register on BingX with code ZO or VTA9L if you are a beginner or trading with small capital. Register on Phemex with code i.e. 78V7 if you already have experience and want a more advanced environment. Both links are below, and using them costs you nothing but gives you direct fee rebates from day one. This video was not about hype or promises. It was about matching the right tool to the right stage. Beginners do not fail because they are stupid. They fail because they choose environments that punish learning. Choose the exchange that supports your current level, reduce unnecessary costs, and focus on staying consistent. If this explanation helped you see trading more clearly, subscribe to the channel. I focus on honest breakdowns, not sponsored hype. Check the links in the description, use the referral codes, and take control of your learning process instead of fighting the market blindly.